screen.
Unsa may gusto nimo, ikaw or ako?
Ako lang mo try ko niya kung dili. You help me lang ha.
Okay, sige.
Ganina wa ko ka-share sa kuan slideshow kay matabunan man niya di ko ka-click.
Sige.
Transferred na to you, Sir James.
Okay, thank you. Nakita na ako.
Thank you, Ma'am Rafi.
Yeah, okay. Ma'am, excuse ako kadali, ma'am. Ha? Balik ra ko later.
Mula ka sa Ma'am Rafi, oh.
Sa ako ni pang-admit.
Pwede ra, sir. Pwede ra.
Unahon sa tuning kuan.
Kanang na-part kay bawo kan Ma'am Rafi last time. Ang sir gawa hapit kasud.
Okay.
Nagtugod na miya siya mo introduce na kulbaan jud ko Ma'am Rafi.
Marlo, admit.
Okay.
Muna nag-agree na mahatag na mi ginaagi sa mahatag sa go signal nga naana kompleto na ang na-enroll kay ko Ginoo ko kinsa may mo introduce ani nga nag-welcome naman ko.
Sige ma'am.
Thank you Ma'am Rafi.
Okay ma'am, okay sir.
Thank you kayo ma'am.
Sige.
Good afternoon sa tanan.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Asa na mas Ma'am Ria?
Ganina ram to siya musud.
Bako kita siya yung pangandari.
Patriling sa tron.
Si Joanne, wala pa sad.
Pre-text eh.
No, ikaw na din, no. Nagpangita ko rin.
Si Ma'am Larmin, so na.
Larmy? Wala pa sad.
Akong katan.
Amo sayo si Ma'am Larmy, sir?
Okay, para makasud na. Unya pa sa din, sa kasud.
Anam kay siya recorded nga to?
Unya, pero bisan pa, kay kinanglan masud sa daan. Hindi sa musud. Hindi sa kasud niya alas 3.
Senior high, sir ba?
Asa na mas Ma'am Ria? Uy, wala pa mas Ma'am Ria. Ako sa suwayan akong kuan ha, kanang share screen na sa ato ang kuan. Start sa kuan.
Siguro nga, wala pa lain nga participant.
Kita ra ninyo?
Okay ra.
Kita ra ninyo?
Yes. Madungog ra ko nimo, sir?
Undong ra.
Okay.
Okay, nadunggan niyo sound?
Yes.
Prayer.
Uy, wa pa kasud si Ria nang utana pag mao ba kuno to yung gamiton.
Wait. Nakita niyo ang kuan? Video sa kuan? Prayer?
Wala. Wala siya full screen.
Pero naa.
Opening prayer?
Opening
prayer niya. Kasunod sa lupang hinirang og CIT niya
dili, ang video ako naman gi-play mismo.
Wala pa.
Kana.
Okay na, that's it.
Okay. Sige.
Pero na pa may this meeting is being recorded. I-click pa na nako, no?
Oo. Jimboy, pasudlaw na sa Ma'am Ria.
Correct. Ako na ikuan.
Manuktog ko sa na ron.
Nana. Si kuan na lang, Joanne.
What? Ni-message si Joanne mo, wadi yung taga-ikuan, link?
Hindi na ko katubag kay kakawit tubag niya.
Mauna siya link. Wala siya link.
Forward sa link. Hi, Ray.
Ma'am, good morning. Good morning.
Murag sa iyo jud kay ka 115.
Ni sayo, naniguro jud sa iyo, ma'am.
To na.
Nasinda ni mo, James?
Mana, gisinda na tika.
Sir, may hunto.
Gisinda na tika. Sige na.
Ano karon na?
Oo. Gisinda na tika daan ko.
Ano sa parent ganina?
Open ta mga 10 minutes before 2 o'clock, ma'am. Open ta.
Open ta, unya
15
start
minutes,
ta.
15 minutes before 2 o'clock.
10 minutes lang para we can start mga 2:05 lang para makasud jud tanan. Sud
Okay.
kinang kuan.
Di ba ako i-accept ni mga participants ba at to
Sa YouTube,
1:45.
ma-check na nimo sa YouTube.
Oh. Ano man to sa Joan?
Anay ni kuan?
Ma'am Nes,
Ay,
kanang
Sagaan lang namang ni.
ikuan jud angan, i-mention jud nato angan, ini basa sa question, dili na lang no. Paras ganina sa elementary ni tan-aw man ko, ilang man gibasa angan.
sa senior high sa 12 na minahuman re oy.
Mao ba? Anya, basahon jud na akong man sa sender.
Ha?
Basahon jud na akong sender.
Tungan na nimo question of
Kanang sa open forum ba?
question from Mrs. Ana like that.
Okay.
Para makaibaw sila nga gibasa ilang question. Pero kuan ha, you have to help me answer the questions kay especially ka na mga admission slip, sir. I cannot answer. So kamoy mo answer ana.
Sila sir.
Admission slip.
So, Sir James, i-click na nimo. This meeting is being recorded. Continue.
Dili na ako pangita pa si kuan. Anyara, inigsugod
O,
na.
paano i-click?
Ayaw sa.
Nes, daghan ba yan ng utana ganina sa
Asa man
kuan?
si Joan eh?
Daghang
Unsa man?
pangutana kanina sa ni admission slip asa man yung kuan. Ako sa ni kuan ang kay gisuwat ni na.
Ato lang, na sila enrollment confirmation. Di ba ako ka-answer, ana, unless muhatag mo, tabang mo na kong answer.
Sige.
Nakita na lang ko si Joan.
Oh. Ma'am Nes, kana bang email address ba? Isa may muhatag ana ang advisor?
Oh,
Isa
ang
may tagaan.
advisor, email address.
Isa may tagaan.
Mga estudyante.
Email address ang sa.
Email
address sa estudyante.
Na may question diri god nga will we make an email address for the children or will we be the one
Para ihatag sa teachers para makontak sila.
Pero kuha na siguro na on the day, kaya gamiton sa nato ilang gigamit nga email ad, kay mo take time naman na. Unya, during the orientation, ato lang i-remind nga they have to have their own email ad. For the meantime ba? Kay di na sa mag-abot Monday.
Kaya ang LM man ingon na sila nga we will provide email ad for them. Ana man
Kay ilem man, di man kay baw ang kitay mo, kalisod pud anang kitay mo. Himog email ad for them, no?
So, ikay mo answer ana Sir James.
Sa email
Okay,
ad.
ana.
Para sa kuan. Pwede na si Marlo kay kuan man.
Sir
Financial
Pinor.
coordinator.
So for the meantime, ang atong gamiton ang email ad lang nga ilang gi-submit when they filled out the enrollment form, pero during the orientation, i-advise gyud na sila to have their own email ad.
Magbuhat sa sila kanang bag-ong Facebook account para lang gyud sa kuan.
Unya na orientation na kay kung karon
ang
di
mga
naman
maestra
sa mag-abot.
Ang mga maestra na imusulti ang
Part na siya sa orientation.
So, James, para na ako ba? Doon naman dyan yan ang Facebook account na ang importante naman siguro ang GC.
Bay, pero para makakuha ka sa GC, mas maigi na yung Facebook account.
Facebook ra gyud mo importante.
Noon maka-create man kag account sila account lang sa Messenger lang.
Pwede raman.
Without Facebook.
Can be seen na ta sa YouTube.
Okay. Sige, admitin na ko sila.
Ma'am
Admit
Larry,
na ko. Ako sa i-play ang kuan ha.
So ikaw ra hatag na ko go signal ha kung ano ta.
Kita niyo dungog ninyo?
Dungog ra.
Okay. Ako i-open sila tanan ha.
Ma'am Larry,
Admit na ko sila tanan. Nanay waiting 67 ka po.
Ma'am Larmy, nakita na mo dito, James?
Larmy, ano may panganiya diri?
Si
Ma'am Ness.
Ma'am
Yes,
Larmy,
Ma'am
si
Jo.
Si Ma'am Larmy ba? Unsa siya? Na ay kuan or pre-recorded?
Pre-recorded, Ma'am Jo.
Pre-recorded.
Oh, sa Q&A na
okay.
siya mo live.
Wa di may Larmy diri.
Ako ang sa gichatan nga open na. Wala.
Ano may iyang pangan?
Anyway, Sir Pinor can answer or you can answer in terms of Moodle LMS.
Oh, bitaw.
Yeah.
Ang importante nga, we have already the talk, pre-recorded talk.
Unsa kinay unsa Piliscoso na iyang pilidoro no?
Oh, Larmy, Pilis ko.
Pre-recorded talk.
Wala man siya ni response ako diri.
Makita ba ninyo as participants iyang pangan?
We only have 5 here. Can only see 5.
Okay.
5 pa.
Okay, kamo na kung likuan.
Sige na,
Okay.
stop sharing na kay we're already live YouTube.
Yan sa Ma'am Larmy. Abita ko na.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ibusan ka ng tisan.
Ano bakuson tamong duha dias gawas be.
Good afternoon, everyone. In 2 minutes, we are about to start our parents orientation. Like to request everyone to focus our attention on the screen for the invocation, to be followed by the Philippine National Anthem and the CIT University Hymn.
Dili ko sa tutubukan taon.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, helas ng sinangalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinagang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng patawad
A blessed afternoon, everyone. I'm Joanne Mercader, a junior high school faculty, your MC. Adapting to this what we call new normal is not that easy. Even if COVID-19 is still around, we should always remember that we have a big God who's bigger than the problems that we are facing right now. This means that life must go on and the education of our children must continue without compromising their health and safety. So, without any delay, let us now listen to the welcome remarks of our overall academic coordinator, Mr. Marlo Pinor. A virtual applause, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. In the middle of March this year, it was certain that there will be no more face-to-face classroom sitting in teaching because of COVID-19 virus. The CIT University administration was quick to respond to continue its summer program in spite of the pandemic using the Moodle online distance learning. Moodle is an open source learning platform. It stands for Modular Object-Oriented Dynamic Learning Environment. CIT University was the first in the country to offer online distance learning using Moodle last summer for college students and senior high school students. The same we used in our very own junior high school students during the remedial classes, which end just last week. So I am very confident that we can deliver
Sir, your microphone is muted, Sir Pinor. Please turn it on.
Okay naman?
Yes, okay, sir. Continue, sir.
So I am very confident that we can deliver quality education to your children using Moodle. Just to give you a bird's eye view, how is learning delivered using the Moodle. The computer monitor or the screen of the smartphone or laptop becomes the blackboard in a classroom setting. All the contents of the topics, including the related videos, will be encoded and uploaded respectively in the Moodle for students to read and view. It is a dynamic learning environment in the sense that the teacher and students can interact with each other during their synchronous schedule. So the students can ask questions and clarification from the teacher. Dr. Larmi Filescoso, Chair of the Information Technology, will further discuss what is Moodle on the later part of this orientation. This school year, we will have the online distance learning using Moodle, and Dr. Ranisa Romero, our principal, will discuss the different kinds of distance learning afterwards. So on behalf of the Junior High School Department, I welcome you all this afternoon's Parents Orientation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Pinor. I know, parents, you have so many questions in mind on how to go about the online schooling of your children. Before you ask them, let us listen first to the talk of our junior high school principal on the Junior High School Primer on Online Distance Learning, or ODL. A virtual applause for Dr. Reniza R. Romero. Ma'am?
Yes, I'm still preparing my
Okay.
slides.
Kuya, anak ko madungog siya.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Parents Orientation, your orientation. Now, I will start the orientation with the presentation of CIT University's vision statement. Please allow me to read. A top academic institution continuously developing values-driven, highly competent, and innovative technologians. If you notice, CIT University aims for the total or holistic development of your children, focusing on the 3 domains of learning. The first domain is affective, which refers to attitudes, and that is where values-driven belongs. The second domain is cognitive, which refers to knowledge, and that is where highly competent belongs. And the third domain of learning is psychomotor, which refers to the skills, and that is where innovative belongs. So it is indeed a holistic development of your children. Next, allow me to share our mission statement. To ensure quality instruction, research, and community extension for the total development of technologians committed in practicing professionalism and in meeting the demands of local, national, and global communities. The realization of this mission is not easy, most especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, we are committed to provide your children quality instruction, expose them to research even in high school, and inculcate in them the importance and love for community extension. Next slide shows the core values of CIT University. The first is spirit of altruism. Next is passion for excellence. The third is integrity. The fourth is responsibility. The fifth is innovativeness. Next is teamwork. And of course, tenacity. These core values provide the foundation for the kind of environment or atmosphere that CIT University wants to foster. These values are embedded in everything that CIT University does, and these are also integrated across different subjects in high school. Next slide shows the attributes of our graduates. Our graduates are values-driven, highly competent, and innovative. These attributes show or more or less reflect the vision statement of CIT University. I want you to meet the junior high school administrators and staff with their names, designations, and email addresses. The first is yours truly, the principal, with my email address. Then, the overall academic coordinator, Mr. Marlo Pinor. The officer in charge, High School Registrar's Office, Mrs. Melissa Abellanosa. The SAU in charge for boys, Mr. James Libron. The SAU in charge for girls, Mrs. Remelia Penserga. Our high school librarian, Mrs. Roche Etcoban. One of our guidance counselors, Ms. Jana Joy Katubig. The second guidance counselor, Ms. Chinky Claudine Sedurifa. Our junior high school secretary, Mrs. Delilah Rojas. The laboratory assistant, Mr. Mario Glenn Bacon. Our records clerk, Mrs. Bimaxminda Samudio. And the second records clerk is Mrs. Maria Bailen Infornon. Please familiarize the names of our faculty members by subject area. First group are the English teachers. Mrs. Elalyn Guarin, Mrs. Joanne Sanchez, Mr. Yolando Sulibio, Mrs. Remelia Pinserga, who is the SAU in charge for girls, Mrs. Marifel Lazarte, and Mrs. Reina Cambal, with Mrs. Elalyn Guarin as the subject coordinator. The second group are the Filipino teachers, Mrs. Maria Elvira Umali, Mrs. Ana Maria Abeliana, Mr. Noel Hirenia, and Miss Jaylene Mirafuentes, with Mrs. Maria Elvira Umali as the subject coordinator. Next group are the mathematics group, Mrs. Antonia Inserto, Mr. Marlo Pinor, who is the overall academic coordinator, Mrs. Maria Cleofas Rama, Mrs. Melvi Damuag, and Mr. Christopher Ares, with Mrs. Antonia Inserto as the subject coordinator. Next are the science teachers, Mrs. Racelo Ramones, Mr. Raul Iscala, Miss Bernadette Amatosa, Mrs. May Batusin, Mrs. Ellen Bacalso, Mr. Virgilio Amistad, and Mrs. Buenabina Lubon, with Mrs. Racelo Ramones as the subject coordinator. Next are the Araling Panlipunan teachers, Mrs. Gloria Dacayana, Mrs. Helen Garces, Mrs. Joanne Mercader, Mr. Reynaldo Babatuan, with Mrs. Gloria Dacayana as the subject coordinator. Next are the Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao or ESP teachers, Mr. Yolando Sulibio, Mrs. Isabel Baguio, Mrs. Ellen Bacalso, Mrs. Ana Maria Abeliana, Miss Bernadette Amatosa, Mrs. Buenabina Lubon, and others, with Mr. Yolando Sulibio as the subject coordinator. Next are the TLA teachers, Mrs. Isabel Baguio, Mrs. Maria Belia Marange, Mrs. Nenita Duaso, and Mrs. Janet Intesi, with Mrs. Isabel Baguio as the subject coordinator. Next are the computer teachers, Mrs. Jorenda Sasuman, Mrs. Jennifer Alava, Miss Grace Bascon, Mr. James Lebron, who is also our SAU in charge for boys, Mrs. Darlene Bersiles, with Mrs. Jorenda Sasuman as the subject coordinator. She is also the e-learning QA coordinator for the junior high school department. And finally, the MAPE teachers, Mrs. Fatima Pepito, Mrs. Judy Kimilat, Mrs. Josefa Sidorifa, and Mrs. Mariclo Ias, with Mrs. Fatima Pepito as the subject coordinator. After knowing our vision, mission, core values, attributes of our graduates, and after meeting the administrators, staff, and faculty members virtually, allow me to proceed with the primer on online distance learning. Now, this primer is for both junior high school and senior high school. So we had this morning during the senior high school forum. I will start the sharing of the primer with the 4 common learning modalities, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. The first is the face-to-face learning modality. It is face-to-face when the teaching learning processes take place in a traditional classroom. This was our mode of delivery before the COVID-19 pandemic. The second is the distance learning modality. When we say distance learning, it can be online, it can be modular, or it can be TV or radio based. The third is the blended learning modality. When we blend, we mix, we combine. So blended learning modality can be a combination of online and modular learning modalities, or combination of synchronous and asynchronous learning methods, or it can be a combination of online and face-to-face learning modalities. And the fourth is the homeschooling, which is also known as home education, where parents are highly involved. Among these four learning modalities, the junior high school department will adopt the distance blended learning modality. So this means that our mode of delivery is online. That's the first. Second, it combines the synchronous and asynchronous learning methods. In an online distance learning, there are terms which we need to familiarize with. The first is the Learning Management System, or we call this as LMS. Now, what is LMS? It refers to the software application which provides a common portal for all subjects enrolled by a student. It means that your children have to enroll in all their subjects so that they can be given access to this common portal. Likewise, LMS allows our teachers to standardize their delivery of the lessons. Next term is online learning. It refers to learning that takes place over the internet and across distance, and not in a traditional classroom. So take note, your children are not in a traditional classroom. They are taught remotely or distantly by means of technology. And then when we say technology, your children may use smartphone, Android tablet, personal computer, or laptop. The third term is distance learning. It is a form of learning obtained without the students being physically present in the classroom. So this is just one of the characteristics. Your children are absent in the traditional classroom. Second, there is a physical separation between the teacher and the students, which means that the teacher is far from the students. Third, technology is used, which I mentioned a while ago, and internet connectivity is needed. Next term is blended learning. It refers to learning that takes place when synchronous and asynchronous learning methods are combined using available technology. As I mentioned earlier, the junior high school department will adopt the distance blended learning modality, wherein it is online and it combines the synchronous and asynchronous learning methods. But what is synchronous? When does synchronous learning take place? Synchronous learning then refers to virtual learning with others that happens in real time. So when does it happen? When the teacher interacts with the students, or when the students interact with the teacher, or when the students interact with one another. So what we are doing right now is an example of a synchronous activity. I interact with you, and then learning takes place in real time. On the other hand, asynchronous learning is different. It refers to learning which happens based on the student's schedule. So based on your children's schedule. Examples are when your children are given problems to solve on their own. When your children are given stories or essays to read with guide questions on their own, or when your children are given videos to watch with guide questions on their own. So they do things on their own, at their own pace, within a reasonable time frame. So the phrase within a reasonable time frame means that even if your children do things on their own, they know when to submit because teachers set deadlines. Next is the Made for Learners framework. So it's a framework that stands for multiple approaches. So when you say multiple, many approaches in delivering education. This is the main platform to be used by the teachers. And this is where Moodle comes in, the school's learning management system. Let us proceed with the mode of delivery. So this summarizes what I mentioned a while ago. The high school department uses the distance blended mode of delivery, making use of the Made for Learners framework. In distance blended, the students are taught remotely or distantly, and synchronous and asynchronous learning methods are combined to deliver the lessons. Moodle is used as the main platform. So take note, our dear parents, Moodle is used as the main platform. However, the teachers and the students may use Facebook and Messenger as supplementary platforms only. So ICT tools will be used and also internet connectivity. So this mode of delivery will be used for the entire school year 2020-2021, meaning to say from August to April 2021. Now, you might be asking, how about if it is already all right to have face-to-face, or there is already a vaccine for coronavirus? Now, CIT University Basic Education will have this mode of delivery for the entire school year. Let us proceed with the features of online schooling. First, Moodle is used as learning management system. So you know already what LMS is. It's a software application. It provides a common portal for the subjects enrolled by your children, and it allows our teachers to standardize their delivery of the lessons. Second feature, a fixed class schedule is observed from Monday to Saturday. Take note of the days, Monday to Saturday. We actually complied with the school calendar provided to us by the Department of Education. If we are not going to hold our classes from Monday to Saturday, we might end in July. But with Monday to Saturday classes, we will be up to April 30, 2021 only. And you don't have to worry because Saturday will be used for the submission of assignments and other tasks. Why do we have a fixed class schedule? This is to avoid overlapping of activities among the different subjects. So for example, the class of your children from 7:30 to 8:30 is English. So that particular time is only intended for English. No Filipino or science teacher can take that time because it's for English only. So that's the purpose of having a fixed class schedule. Third feature, instruction is delivered remotely by means of technology. So your children are taught distantly, and it is no longer with the aid of technology, but by means of technology. Then, next, the gadgets that your children may use. So they can choose from smartphone, Android tablet, laptop, or desktop computer. So this will be used during the teaching learning processes. Next feature, synchronous discussion or examination. So take note when we say synchronous activity, it can be a discussion or examination. And it is done using Zoom, Meet, or Jitsi. However, the school encourages us to use the MS Teams. And it is once or twice a week per subject only. So unlike during the face-to-face, wherein your children were met by their teachers from Monday to Friday, but in the online distance learning, especially synchronous, each subject is met once or twice a week only. However, your children will be given asynchronous activities. So take note, 40 minutes for a 1-hour subject and 80 minutes for a 2-hour subject. This is also one way of helping you for the internet connectivity. Next feature, asynchronous activities are provided for the students on their own, at their own pace within a reasonable time frame. So I emphasized this a while ago, even if your children do things on their own, at their own pace, but they need to submit the things to be submitted on time because teachers set deadlines. So you have to ask your children about deadlines. Next feature, no school uniform is required, but proper attire is prescribed during synchronous discussion or examination. So wearing of uniform is not required. But we need your children to wear proper attire, especially during synchronous activity. Their faces will be shown on screen, so they should be properly attired. Wearing of sando is definitely not allowed on screen, and that includes also the teachers. Next, no textbooks are required, so you can save much here. Instead of spending 5 to 6,000 for the textbooks, you won't spend that amount anymore because we don't have textbooks this school year. Why? Because everything is embedded. Everything is made available in the learning management system. The quizzes, the drills, the activities, the mastery and periodic tests, everything is there. You might ask, are we going to check the attendance? Yes, attendance is checked and monitored. But take note, our dear parents, it has no weight in the grade. So no student will get a passing grade just because of the attendance. That particular student has to perform the task because attendance has no weight in the grade. We check the attendance, we monitor because we want to check on your children's health and well-being. And we want to check also if your children miss an important activity in class. Next feature, consultation time for both parents and students is provided. Definitely, especially during synchronous activities of your children, the teachers are just there because they also follow the schedule. So upon knowing that your children have synchronous activities, then for example, 8:30 to 9:30, it's the math time of your children and your children have the synchronous activity. So you can use the time to communicate with the teacher on that particular time only because the next period, the teacher has another class. So we should not do away with consultation because this can help your children much. Now, for the grading system, we are compliant with the grading system provided to us by the Department of Education. So we still use averaging as our grading system, wherein we add the 4 grades and then divide them by 4 to get the final rating. As to the basis for grading, we still have the written works, performance tasks, and quarterly assessments. Quarterly assessments refer to the mastery and periodic tests. We have 4 mastery tests and we have 4 periodic tests. Just to review, for English, Filipino, Araling Panlipunan, and ESP, written works, 30%. Performance tasks, 50%. Quarterly assessments, 20%. For math and science, written works, 40%. Performance tasks, 40%. And quarterly assessments, 20%. So 10% for the mastery test and 10% for the periodic test. For TLA, computer, and MAPE, 20% written works, performance tasks, 60%, and quarterly assessments, 20%. Now, you might be asking if we are going to have TLA and PE online. Yes, we are going to have these subjects. Our teachers are creative. They know what to do even online. So rest assured that our teachers can do it well. Let's go to the formation activities. I want you to remember our vision statement. We aim for the total development of your children. So we have formation activities, and these activities aim for that one, total development of your children. And this objective cannot be realized if we won't be helped by the teachers, parents, and some school personnel. So first formation activity is the advisory period. Your children are grouped by section, and each section has a corresponding advisor. One of the tasks of the advisor is to monitor your children's behavior and academic performance. And whatever observation they have, this will be reached out to you. So you will be informed. Second, the guidance period. The school organizes the e-guidance because we want to be helped in developing values-driven, highly competent, and innovative technologians. Our two guidance counselors, Miss Jana and Miss Chinky, are very much willing to communicate with us. So our teachers can communicate with them. They can still give referrals. And parents also, you are very much welcome to communicate with our guidance counselors. Virtually, of course. Next is the library period. Take note, your children do not have textbooks. However, there are times when they need books, e-books, and other references. So, Mrs. Etkuban, our high school librarian, will invite your children to join the e-library group so that your children can easily communicate with her if they need e-books and other references. And of course, it's very important, the parent-teacher consultation. We believe in the roles that the parents and teachers portray in the teaching learning processes. Parents and teachers should work hand in hand for the good of the students. So we will schedule consultation, parent-teacher consultation virtually. Next is recognition of honor students. Although we cannot hold the physical ceremony, but we will be trying our best to provide certificates or to give certificate of recognition to the honor students. Just to remind you of the grades, those students whose averages range from 90 to 94, they are with honors. 95 to 97 with high honors, 98 to 100 with highest honors. If your children want to become honor students, they should not have a grade below 85 in all subjects. And also, only the overall top 10 students from grade 7 to 10 can avail of the discounts next school year. Take note, only the overall top 10 students from grade 7 to 10. This means that the honor students will be ranked. I know that you will agree with me that the learning of your children is not the sole responsibility of the teachers. There must be collaboration among the students, teachers, and parents. So we have enumerated the roles and responsibilities of these three important stakeholders. Let us start with your children. First, role. Your students or your children have to attend classes regularly and promptly. So they should not be absent and they should not be late unless, of course, they are sick. And there's no reason for them to be late because they are just at home. They won't commute anymore. There is no more traffic. But if your children are used to sleeping late and waking up late, definitely they will be late. So they have to discipline themselves to attend their classes regularly and promptly, following the schedule which will be given to them. Next, do the required drills, activities, quizzes, performance tasks, and assignments. So as mentioned, in distance blended, there are more asynchronous activities than synchronous. 30% synchronous activities and 70% asynchronous. So there are many activities for your children. They have to perform them, submit them on time so that they will pass in all their subjects. Next, role. Your children have to manage their time well. So we can have the control during synchronous because we can see your children. But our concern is during asynchronous activity. Unlike before, during face-to-face, most of their time was spent in school, was spent with us. But with the new mode of delivery, most of their time is spent at home. So your children have to manage their time well, most especially that the distance blended mode of delivery is geared towards independent learning. So they have to learn on their own. Next, Ask questions when something is not clear or not understood. So during our meeting with the teachers, I told them that they should make this as one of their rules, that they should encourage, they should motivate their students to ask questions. Most especially now that there are so many instructions in the Moodle. So they have to ask questions if they don't understand. Next, follow the given class schedule, procedures, rules, and policies. Next week, your children will be provided with the class schedule. And during the orientations, they will be provided with rules and policies, and they should abide by them. Next, develop effective study habits. So your children might have study habits, but we do not know if they are effective. So they have to be effective study habits so that they can get good grades. And of course, your children have to maintain good health so that they can attend their classes regularly and promptly. Let us proceed now with your roles and responsibilities as parents. First, set up a study space and provide the technology needed. So at home, you look for a space that will serve as a study space for your children. If possible, a quiet place, not near the television, preferably near the windows. But if ever the space is limited, just look for a space for your children and provide the needed technology. So you know already what to choose, what to use, what technology to use, which can be laptop, personal computer, tablet, or smartphone. Prepare for and attend to technical issues that may arise. Take note your children will be using technology. So there are always technical issues. These issues are inevitable. So you have to be ready and attend to the needs of your children. For example, unstable internet connectivity. Or if you are using data, your children may run out of load or probably low battery. So they need to be assisted. Remind your children that online learning is as important as face-to-face learning. So they might think, it's just online, it's less important, it's nothing. But the answer is definitely no. Online learning is as important as face-to-face learning. Next, monitor the behavior and academic performance of the child. So you have to monitor not only the teachers. Do not rely everything on the teachers because the teachers attend to many students and then you only attend to your child, to your 2 children. So help us monitor the behavior and academic performance of your children. Then communicate with your children's class advisors and subject teachers regularly. So after the orientation, you ask your children, anak, who is your advisor? Who is your math teacher? Who is your science teacher? You should know the name so that you know whom to contact if you have some questions. And take note of the schedule because during asynchronous activity, you can communicate with the teacher using that particular time and that particular subject. Not just any time. You base it on the schedule of your children. And help your children maintain a regular study schedule. This is very important. So your children may study from 7 to 10 or probably 8 to 10. They should have and you should help monitor this one. Let us proceed with the roles and responsibilities of the teachers. First, attend classes regularly and promptly. So it would not be fair also if we would require your children to attend classes regularly and promptly, and then our teachers are absent. So I also reminded them to attend their classes regularly and promptly. The same as your children, they won't commute anymore. So traffic is no longer a reason. So they have to attend their classes regularly, unless of course, they are sick. We cannot also force them to attend if they are sick, just like your children. Next, engage the students to avoid boredom and absences. So I requested the teachers to make their activities, their lessons interesting and challenging so that your children will be motivated to attend their classes. Next, role of the teachers. Align the lessons, activities, and tasks with the most essential learning competencies. As early as April, our junior high school teachers were provided with the most essential learning competencies. And I can assure you that when they developed their module courses, they aligned the lessons, activities, and tasks with the most essential learning competencies. Next, make a follow-up on the student's behavior and academic performance. So you have something in common, teachers and parents. Make a follow-up. So it should not be the parents only. It should not be the teachers only. Parents and teachers should work hand in hand. Next, show concern, consideration, and compassion to students. This is a new platform, new to your children, new to the parents, and new to the teachers. So I requested the teachers to be concerned, to be considerate, and to be compassionate to your children. And the last, reach out to parents. What's the use of recording the absences if this will not be forwarded to you? So you should be informed of the teacher's observation regarding your children's behavior and academic performance. So see, there must be collaboration among students, parents, and teachers. Let us now proceed with communication. Communication is very important. It fosters understanding. And right now, you have so many questions. And I know also that some of your questions cannot be answered by me. It's because there are really offices that take charge of answering your questions. Offices in the university. It's just a matter of addressing your questions to the right offices. For example, you'll be asking about fees, the tuition, the miscellaneous, how much is the refund, how to process the refund. So the best office that can answer you is the Finance and Accounting Office with the email ad accounting@cit.edu. Or you might have questions about Form 137, report cards of your children, or ESC requirements or certification, diploma. All those questions will be answered by the registrar. So address your questions to the registrar's office with the email ad hs.registrar@cit.edu. Now, if you have questions about the LMS, the Learning Management System, then we have the Technical Support Group at tsg@cit.edu. Or if your question is about scholarship, you might say that your children came from a science class. What's the process when you apply for the scholarship? How much discount to avail? Or you need a tutor, a virtual tutor for your children? Then coordinate with the Office of Admissions and Scholarships at oas@cit.edu. Or if you want to request for a certificate of good moral character, then coordinate with the Student Affairs Office at sao or sao@cit.edu. And then since we'll be adopting online distance learning, there will be announcements, updates. So for you to be updated, always visit the junior high school official Facebook page reflected on the screen. And for the junior high school department, our official email address is jhs@cit.edu. So once we receive your email, we will forward it to the respective offices. Now for other matters, so I am reminding the grade 7 parents of the Educational Service Contracting Requirements or ESC. So on screen is actually the logo of ESC. So grade 6 report card, PSA birth certificate, recent 2x2 photo, latest income tax return if parents are employed, and certificate of tax exemption if parents are not employed. Your children have to fill out the ESC form and the ESC contract. The subsidy to be received is 11,000. The amount won't increase anymore. So if your children start with 11,000, that is the amount to be received up to grade 7. So grade 7, 11,000, grade 8, 11,000, grade 9, 11,000, and grade 10, 11,000. However, that particular amount can only be enjoyed once CIT University receives that amount from the government. So usually we receive that in the middle of the school year. So for the meantime, you still have to pay for the tuition of your children. And what is the beauty if you apply for this one? When your children become senior high school students, they won't apply for the voucher anymore because automatically they will enjoy the 16,000 in grade 11 and 16,000 in grade 12, 8,000 per semester. I think that's a big help already for you. So I advise you to apply for those who have not applied yet. Now, start of classes, August 17, 2020. That will be Monday. And then orientation, subject orientation, August 17 to 20. Now, on the first day of classes, that will be August 17, only the class advisors will meet your children. 1 hour only. After that, no more. Orientation, and that will be up to 20. The advisor will guide your children. And how can your children be part of the orientation? We have already given class list to our class advisors. They have created FB groups for your children. So our class advisors will be inviting your children. Take note, schedule of exams. First mastery test, September 18 and 19. First periodic test, October 16 and 17. Second mastery test, November 17 and 18. Second periodic test, December 16 and 17. Third mastery test, January 27 and 28. Third periodic test, February 26 and 27. Fourth mastery test, March 22 and 23. And fourth periodic test will be on April 16 and 17. So take note of the date so that you can prepare money for your children's tuition. And then what are the school requirements? So in addition to the technology, just provide your children with a ball pen and notebooks. Unused old notebooks will do. No need to buy new notebooks so that you can save. Oh, I know you are waiting for this one. The rates for school year 2020-2021. So grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10. So 31. And then the monthly payment, how much to pay. And there's a note there, advance payments will be deducted in the mastery test. First mastery test. So if you paid 800, that will be deducted from 3,918 point something. So you will only pay 3,018. 118. That. Then for the new students, the transferees, grade 8, 32,314.70. Grade 9, 32,060.88. Grade 10, 31,686.40. This is for the whole school year already. That is from August to April 2021. Thank you very much. So thank you for entrusting the junior high school education of your children to us. We truly appreciate it. Once again, thank you, our dear parents.
Thank you so much, Dr. Romero. Parents, if you have questions, you can drop them on the chat box. Again, you can drop your questions on the chat box. But before answering your questions, another very important talk on the Learning Management System, or LMS, will be given to us by the Chair of the Information Technology Department, CIT University, and Head of the Center for Robotics, E-Learning and Technology Education, CIT University. Please give a virtual applause for Dr. Larmy S. Feliscozo.
Good day, everyone. I am Larmy of the Center.
Sir Lebron, Dr. Feliscozo is with us right now via Zoom. Or it is a pre-recorded video.
Good day, everyone. I am Larmy of the Center for Robotics, E-Learning and Technology Education, the Cebu Institute of Technology's training arm. Welcome to our Wildcats LMS and Instructional Resources for Basic Education Parents Edition Orientation. I am sure if you're watching education-related news, LMS is a buzzword today. We begin with the question, what is an LMS? LMS basically stands for Learning Management System. It is a software application that automates the administration, tracking, and reporting of courses, and it serves as a central repository for activities and resources that meant to make the lives of students as well as faculty members easier. There are various LMS available in the market, like Canvas, Edmodo, Moodle, and Google Classroom, just to name a few. The choice for the school to use will depend on various aspects like availability, memory usage, scalability, and even the cost. CIT University is using Moodle already for quite some time. So we already have experience with this tool, especially in our department. Aside from the fact that it is user-friendly and open source, as an IT person, I'm really excited with the idea of an open source software because this means that the programmers of the system is confident to show their actual code. So the software is actually free, but the university is hosting and placed it in the cloud or using the Amazon Web Server. So we can provide round-the-clock access to the students. Now, we are not the only school using Moodle. According to the Moodle statistics, there are around 26 million courses offered in Moodle spread over 240 countries worldwide. Now let's begin with our Moodle journey. We will start with the mobile Moodle. So Moodle supports mobile devices, so you can use tablets or simply your smartphone for your child to study. You can install the Moodle application through Google Play Store. Simply search Moodle. Please look at the icon. After successfully installing the application, you need to configure it to connect to our Wildcats layer. So in this case, in the your site address, this will come out. You need to type basic.layer.cit.edu. Then press connect. Then allow your child to type his or her assigned username and password. After login, you will be directed to the dashboard. So all the courses enrolled for your child will appear. So course images, you can simply click on them, like this one for computer. Then the description of the course will appear. So you have the course description and other activities and resources. You can simply scroll down. Now you can see in the upper right corner there are 3 dots. So it's like the setting area. When you click these 3 dots, a drop-down menu will appear. Now in the Moodle Mobile, it supports downloading of the actual course. But be careful with this because you need to constantly update, especially if the faculty member or the teacher will add additional resources. So you have to upload it again or download it again. So you have to make sure that it's the recent copy of the course that you download. Then when you click the settings part or the sections part, this section area will appear wherein it will show you all the resources. You can simply click all these resources up to the last topic. Now, I will show you the web-based Moodle. So that's the mobile version. There's also the web-based version. So in the web-based version, in your web browser, like if you're using Chrome or Firefox, simply type basic.layer.cit.edu. Now, I strongly advise that you pin this site in your web browser. So your child or you can easily go to this site without typing anymore if you've pinned it. Then you can log in. So click the login button here and this drop down will come out. You simply ask your child the assigned username and password. So the username and password will be emailed to you or your child's email address. And if there are problems, if you're not able to receive it, the teachers can also distribute their email, their username and password. Same with the mobile version, it will lead you to the dashboard and we would like you to help us convince your child to please update the profile. So in updating the profile, you have to click on this area, the one that appears your username, and on the drop down, you can see there the profile part. In the profile part, it will lead, when you click that part, it will lead you to a page, this page wherein you can click this word, edit profile. So once you click the edit profile, you can then drag, for example, a new picture. So we strongly advise that the child can simply have their new picture. So put the file here and you can then change the username and you can change only the password, not the username. When you scroll down further, you can see also the email address. So make sure that the email address is recent because if we have activities, notifications in forum, in chat, we will be using the email address that's registered in your Moodle or your child's Moodle account. Then don't forget to click the Update Profile button. Now, I will demonstrate on how easy it is to navigate the courses in Moodle. So, upon login, it will automatically direct your child to the dashboard. So, simply click on the course image. In this case, it's for grade 5 computer, because basic education starts with the elementary, junior high school, and senior high school. So once you click on the course image, it will lead you to the course description. So in this course description, in the right corner, you will see the navigation drawer. This navigation drawer will allow you to have easy access to different links like the site home, to the different courses that your child is enrolled. When you scroll down, you will see various resources like lessons. In this icon, you have lessons, and then we have the H5P, which is a interactive video material. Then on the right hand side, you will notice there are some square boxes some small boxes with checks or no checks yet. Now, these are indicators for their activity tracking. So if you will see checks, meaning they're done with the activity. If there's no check, meaning it's not yet done. Now in this icon with the hand, this represents an assignment. So something that they have to pass. So I will demonstrate on how to pass an assignment. So assuming you click on the assignment, and it will lead you to this description of the assignment. If you're ready to pass the assignment, you scroll down, it will lead you to the area wherein you would see a button, Add Submission. So you can click the Add Submission. Then, in adding the submission, if you're going to add a file, you can simply drag the file directly to the Files area. Then, once it's dragged, it's successfully uploaded, you will see a small icon representing the file name. It contains the file name of the submitted assignment. Then click Save Changes. It's not yet done, okay? You need to click Submit Assignment. Then you have to confirm that the submission is your own. So it's a code wherein you are acknowledging that this is your own work or your child's work. Then continue. So when you click continue, it will give you the submission status. So make sure in the submission status, in the attempt, it's successful. So you will see there attempt 1. Next would be quizzes or exercises. So an icon with a check is something that can be automatically checked by the system. So I will show you a sample quiz and how to maximize the feature of the quiz of Moodle. So when you click a quiz, quizzes can have passwords. So the teacher will distribute the password, or it's possible that it's an exercise with no password. So you can click the attempt quiz now. In this attempt quiz page, you will see there the description of the course. It will indicate whether the quiz has a password, and it will also indicate the time limit for the quiz. So assuming we have a quiz with a password, so you need to type in the password, then start. So normally, when we have a quiz, we advise the faculty members to just have one question per page. So this is an example of a question about a computer. And on this page, you will see a quiz navigation area. In the quiz navigation area, you will see the buttons with the numbers, meaning there are 21 questions in this quiz. Now, there's a feature wherein your child can actually flag a question. You flag a question if you're not certain of the answer, or you want to go back. If you still have time, you want to recheck, or there's a possibility you want to change your answer later. So the child can simply click the flag question word, and once he or she click the flag question, a small flag will appear on the question. So as shown in the image. If he or she wants to remove the flag, there's a remove flag option. Okay, so he or she can click the remove flag. Then, once he or she is done with the quiz, you can click the finish attempt found in the quiz navigation area, or you can go to the last question. In the last question, a end now will also appear. So once you click the finish attempt, you have an option to return to the attempt, especially if there's still time. We can encourage our children to review their answers, or submit all and finish. Now, when you click submit all and finish, automatically the score will appear. So that's why some of my students, they're very excited to click the submit part, so because the result will come out right away. So here's the result part. Now, the university would really like all the stakeholders, the teachers, the students, the parents, to have a smooth transition in the use of this tool. That's why we have assigned a support team for basic education. We also have a separate support team for the college, and we also have a separate Moodle learning management system for college. So this is really dedicated for the elementary department to make sure that the speed of communication is fast. So we have the support team. We have Engineer Mary Ann Heim, Engineer Melvin Bathan, and for our senior high school department, we also have Mr. Ian Neil Vertudaso. So that's all. If you have concerns like your child forgot his or her password, in which we are begging for them to remember, you can just send us an email at basic.create@cit.edu, and we will be happy to serve you.
Thank you, Dr. Larmy, for sending us that very informative video on what is LMS. Now, at this point, we will answer questions you dropped on the Zoom chat box. So let me check. I think everything is clear to all our parents, Ma'am Ness. There are no questions in the chat box right now.
Ma'am. Excuse.
Yes.
Chat is disabled, ma'am. We cannot put any end question.
Okay. Sir Lebron, sir, disable daw ang chat box. Sir Lebron. So,
Okay.
Can we have the copy of what Mrs. Lebron discussed, ma'am? Oh,
copy, ma'am,
Ma'am
of
Larmy. Ma'am Larmy, di ay? Sorry.
Larmy,
okay,
about the
Ma'am Romero.
LMS. Ma'am
Yeah, about the
Larmy,
LMS.
about the LMS, Ma'am Jo.
Copy of it.
Oh,
Sir
I
Lebron,
mean, the
is it
file. Oh.
possible? I think
Oh.
this will be there's a replay for this, Ma'am Romero.
I will ask permission from Ma'am Larmy first.
Actually,
I think
ma'am,
Ma'am
you can
Larmy is
post it.
around.
Oh, okay.
Can we,
You can
Ma'am
post it in
Larmy?
your FB group, ma'am. You can post it in your FB group.
Okay. So it can
okay.
be
So it will
posted in
be
our
posted.
FB group.
Okay.
So,
thank you, ma'am.
So at this point, we will have the open forum to be facilitated by the SAU in charge for girls, Mrs. Remelia Pinsurga. So, Sir Lebron, okay
Yes.
na ang chat box na to, sir?
Yes, I've opened it already.
Dili na, ma'am,
Okay.
Imo magya.
So, I will give you now the screen to our SAU in charge for girls, Mrs. Remelia Pinsurga.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Ma'am Joanne. By this time, I know that some of your questions have already been answered through our speaker's discussion. Although I understand that there are still some points that might seem a bit unclear to you. Be mindful, though, that when you put your questions in the chat box, please do not include any personal information such as your email ad, payment details, contact information, etc., because everybody can see that. If you feel the need to give those details for questions that are particular to your situation, you may do so by sending an email to juniorhighschool@cit.edu or sending a personal message to our Facebook page at CIT University Junior High School Department. So as we go through this open forum, our administrators are ready to answer your questions. We'll be reading some questions and address them live.
So your questions may be answered by Sir Lebron, Sir Pinor also. They can help me answer the question.
Okay.
And we also
Our
have Ma'am Larmy with us.
Okay, our first question is, are you going to follow the same opening of classes which on August 17? DepEd announced that the opening of classes will be on October. If so, can you enlighten us why you are not following October 5?
Now, as mentioned a while ago, we'll start our classes on October 17. And I think the private schools are given the discretion when to start, most especially that we have already submitted the requirements, the documents for the start of classes to the Department of Education. So again, we'll start our classes on August 17.
All right. Okay, our next question is, what if we have slow internet connection and get disconnected during synchronous classes?
Right, so it's really possible that there will be unstable internet connectivity. Now, the best thing to do is to communicate with the subject teacher concerned. That's why we really encourage you to communicate with the teachers. So you tell the teacher that your child missed that particular session with the teacher.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Romero. Our next question is, are we allowed to record our classes?
Now, if we're going to base it on the Data Privacy Act, you always ask for a consent every time you record something. If there's no consent, then you cannot record it. Unless the teacher prepares a recorded video in the Moodle, it can be used.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Romero. Another question is, what application will we use in the online classes?
What do you mean by application? The mode of delivery? Is it the mode of delivery?
Yes.
So our mode of...
Moodle, no? Moodle.
Yes.
Sa Moodle.
Okay, so when we say mode of delivery, we'll be adapting the distance blended, and of course, our LMS or learning management system is the Moodle, which was discussed by Ma'am Larmy a while ago.
Okay. So next question is, thank you, Ma'am, Dr. Romero. The next question is, will we be contacted by their advisors for the orientation on Monday?
Yes,
will we
definitely.
be given a link?
Yes, definitely. As I mentioned also a while ago, the class advisors were provided with a list of students, and they have started creating FB groups for the sections. So the teachers, the class advisors will communicate with the students. So just wait for the class advisors to reach out to you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Romero. Another question is, do we have to apply for siblings discount or is it automatic?
No, it's not automatic. It has to be applied. And I posted the office which you will coordinate with, the OAS, Office of Admissions and Scholarships. So again, it's not automatic. It has to be applied.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Romero. Another question is, how would we know that the ESC application was approved?
So please coordinate with the high school registrar with the email ad given, highschool.registrar@cit.edu. But I think we have so many slots, so it's possible that the applications are approved. Almost all applications are approved.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Romero. Okay, another question. Admission slip, ma'am. Paano namo mahibalan? How do we know? When?
Sir Pinor, for the...
Actually, hello ma'am, the admission slips are forwarded through their email addresses. If ever they will not be able to receive that one, just inform us and we will send it back again.
So just communicate with us if until now you have not received your admission slips yet. We will send them through emails.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Pinor. Another question is, can we still choose either synchronous or asynchronous discussion?
Now, I think you cannot choose because when we say distance blended, we combine the synchronous and asynchronous learning methods. 30% synchronous and 70% asynchronous.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Another question is, what applications of synchronous learning, ma'am?
What platform to be used during synchronous activities?
Yes, ma'am.
So I mentioned that one, we can use Zoom, Google Meet. However, the school encourages us to use the MS Teams. So it has to be installed, MS Teams, as the platform for synchronous activities.
Okay, thank you.
Kuan lang kanang
Okay. I think there are what about? Okay, another question is deadline of filing of application for brothers and sisters discount and for grade 8. Are we still going to file for the ESC?
Is that for junior high school?
Yes, ma'am.
Transferee? A transferee? Now, if
She,
your children are already ESC grantees, if they have been ESC grantees since grade 7, no need to apply because that will be from grade 7 to 10. Now, if your children are transferees and then they were ESC grantees in their previous schools, you need to have a certification from your previous school that your children are ESC grantees and to be submitted to the registrar's office through email so that the subsidy will be continued at CIT University.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Romero. Here's another question. When do we know the class schedule of our children?
Now, the class schedule will be given during the orientation. So I mentioned it on the first day of classes, only the advisors will meet the students. So during that meeting, your children will be provided with the class schedule. Only the class advisors, only for 1 hour. And then they will be back. So the teachers, the class advisors will provide instructions to the students on the first day of classes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Another question is how do we know our balance?
So that is about tuition. So please coordinate with the finance and accounting office with the email ad accounting@cit.edu for your query on the balance.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Romero. And I think there are no more questions. It's repeated questions. So I think I have to turn you over to our MC.
Ma'am
Yes.
Ma'am Ria.
There are still questions.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Announcement from TLE group for TLE 9 and 10 from Mrs. Baguio and Mrs. Intesi that during the food preparation at home, there must be parents, guardians, and adults to supervise the students during the food preparations at home.
Yes, so parents become co-facilitators during the online distance learning. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So parents is already is involved in the discussion. So are there any questions? Okay,
Hello,
another
ma'am.
one. Yes.
Yes, Ma'am Grace.
Ako i-clarify, ma'am ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Murag wa kay ko kaklaro gani ha, kung naka-apply ka sa ESC, no need na ka mo apply for siblings discount?
No, ma'am. You can still apply because that subsidy is from the government. So you can still apply. But as I mentioned, it's not automatic. It has to be applied.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Naka-apply naman ko, ma'am, pero
Thank you.
Sige. Okay, thank you,
So
ma'am.
your children will still have subsidy and then application for the sibling discount.
So they will just email me, ma'am, kung approve or sa.
So okay, or you can make a follow-up email, ma'am, regarding your application. So it will be given the status of your application.
Okay, sige. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Question lang, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, ang katong gi-discuss ganina about LMS kay murag di magud kaayo siya ma-absorb gyud for this time sa mo. Pwede siya ma-send through email
Yes, it will be posted, ma'am, in our Facebook page, ma'am.
Or you can make a follow-up mail, ma'am.
Okay.
Question is,
Excuse me, ma'am. If you want to be acknowledged, I would like to request the parents to please you raise your hand on the chat box for us to acknowledge you. Then you can ask your questions. Okay. So.
Good ka, Monday?
Ma'am Pinserga?
So, ma'am?
If you want to be acknowledged, I would like to request the parents to please
Mag-ask lang unta ko, ma'am, about sa ESC ba na, di ba?
ESC? ESC? ESC?
Example, ma'am, ba, gikan pa grade 7, din na ako ang kuan anak.
Yes, ma'am.
Ako lang tay ask kung mo-continue sila kanang sa senior high, mo-continue ba sa dang ESC or until grade 10 na gid siya? Kay akong nasabtan kanina kay grade 7 ra to grade 10.
Now, the 11,000, ma'am, will be enjoyed by the students from grade 7 to 10. However, when they go to senior high school, automatically, they can enjoy the 16,000 per school year. So, no need for them to apply for the voucher. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
That will be continued.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am Pakanya?
I just want to have a clarification about the one that you said as aside from Zoom and the Google Meet, what is the exact name na
MS
for
Teams,
the
ma'am. MS Teams, ma'am. MS.
MS
Teams.
MS Teams, like TEEN?
TEAMS, ma'am. Teams.
Okay, team. Okay, sorry. Okay, thank you. And about the username and then the password, when are we going to have it? Or it's there na sa, or we're going to use it sa ano, yung the one that we do it in like sending it sa tawag nyo, yung pag-pay nila. Diba, with username yun at saka password for each student.
Hello, ma'am. The username and password that is intended for the module, that's different, ma'am.
Yeah. When do we have it already? Does the student have it already na?
Not yet, ma'am. Sometimes next week, maybe Wednesday or Tuesday, ma'am, after the advisor orientation, ma'am.
Okay, so clarification lang po for MS Team, the links will be sent in the FB, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So is it when is the parang latest or the deadliest na ma-send nyo para so that the parents din and the student will have it already and they'll be prepared on Monday?
Yes, ma'am.
When will you guys send it sa Facebook?
So everything will be discussed, ma'am, during the orientation with the class advisors. So your children will be informed as to what they will do during the orientation. Just ask your child about it.
No, what I mean is, diba, for the orientation on Monday, like when is the time? Because there are a lot of questions there in the chat here that what is the time, when is the time, where is the link na mag-get namin to para mag-login ba?
Now the orientation, ma'am, advisors and children will be from 8 to 9 a.m. and then your children will be invited by the class advisors. They are still creating the FB group.
Okay.
Yes,
okay. That's what I'm want to hear.
So just let your child wait for the invitation from the class advisor.
Okay, so they will just check their Facebook, right?
Yes, ma'am. So Monday, 8 to 9 only.
8 to 9. So that's
Yes,
their
ma'am.
parang waiting time to have it. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay. Next, we have Ma'am Eleanor De Castro. Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Nag-drive ako. Ma'am, question ako, ma'am, kay ang kuan, ma'am, ba, pagbayad, kanang kuan, pagbayad na ako sa, China Bank, wala siya kuan ma'am ba kanang walay name gani. And then ingon sila nga kami ra daw ang kuan mo send sa inyo ha. Then gitry na ko pasel sa akong anak kay duha man sila. Kaya nang wala man good response ang school kay ang isa ko pa anak walay section. Wa siya kabalo kung asa siya. Or na-enroll ba gid siya or walay confirmation ma'am, wala may nadawat. Pero ang isa is ang isa
Enrollment
wala.
confirmation, ma'am. You received an enrollment confirmation for one of them. But the other one has not received any.
Wala ma'am, ang isa ra. Pero
What's the
nag-send ko
name?
sa duha ka receipt.
Okay, ma'am. What's the name, ma'am, of your...
Ana. Lida
Again, ma'am?
grade con siya, mo grade 8 siya.
What's the name again, ma'am?
Daxi De Castro, ma'am. Lay Daxi.
De Castro Lay Daxi. Noted, ma'am.
Oo. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you also, ma'am.
Okay. Next would be Ma'am Ligaya Fabiliar. Ma'am. Ma'am Ligaya, you have a question, ma'am?
I think it was answered already. She asked a while ago.
Okay. Next, let's have Matea Kaburnay. Ma'am Matea Kaburnay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. What's your question, ma'am?
Ma'am, regarding sa
you have a question, ma'am?
Regarding sa academic kami.
WPS Cloud.
Is that what grade level is that, ma'am?
And sorry. Sisters discount sa grade 9.
Siblings discount. Oh, so you need to apply, ma'am, so that you can avail of the discount.
Asa ko mag-email, ma'am?
Office of Admissions and Scholarships.
Admission and Scholarship. Pero nag-email na ko, ma'am, wala may nag-kuan good, walay nag-reply.
You use the same email ad that I provided.
Ship. Wag sa OAS?
Yes, ma'am. So just make a follow-up email regarding your application.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, next, Ma'am Ebrado. Ma'am Ebrado.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Grade 8 ako ang daughter, ma'am. Then, naalanta ko'y pangunta na kay kaning akong gigamit nga kanang email, ma'am, kapag sud aning sa Zoom. And also, MS, kanang mga MS forms kay ako nga DepEd nga email, ma'am. So, kailangan jud ko nga muhimo og email account sa akong anak, ma'am. Wa sad na siya FB, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. But for the meantime, we'll use the one that you gave. But during the orientation with the class advisors, they will be informed that they have to have their own email ad.
Okay, ma'am. So,
do not change it yet, ma'am, because you might not be able to contact your daughter.
Okay, ma'am. So, as of now, kanilang sa ako ang account, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. But that will be, your child will be advised to have his or her own email ad.
Yes, Ma'am. What's the name? Ma'am Jewelry?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Anak ako, ma'am, about sa ESC, ma'am. Kana akong anak niya nag-graduate sa CIT, pag-elementary, then grade 7 na din siya. Automatic na ba ang ESC niya, ma'am? Or mag-apply po ko itong form?
Ma'am
You need
Ness?
to apply.
Microphone, ma'am. Kamute.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. It's not automatic, ma'am, even if your child graduated from our very own elementary department. You have to apply You have to submit the needed requirements.
Oo, ma'am, nag-apply na ko, ma'am. Taod na ko nag-send. Ani, kani, ilang email na ko.
Okay, and then did your child fill out the ESC form? And
Oo.
Okay. It's okay, ma'am. So it
Niya
means
ako na
that
din gisend sa email sa
registrar.
CIT. Oo.
Yes, ma'am.
Yan saan pagkabaw na ko, ma'am, na dawat nila or na-approve.
I will check, ma'am. So the name of your child.
Sige, thank you, ma'am.
So I'll just give you feedback. What's the name, ma'am? Complete name of your child?
Jewelry Shanice Bakuli, ma'am.
Bakuli. Okay. Noted, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, next, Ma'am Maria Lina Sable. Ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon, ma'am. Kanang nakoy question about sa tuition bitaw, ma'am. Kay mag full payment panggod me.
Yes, ma'am.
And then napat unsaon pag-avail sa discount ana, ma'am?
Now, once you pay the tuition, ma'am, in full, automatically, you can avail of the 5% discount.
So, ako ray mo kwenta sa 5%.
The accounting, ma'am, will provide you. So, just ask. You can avail of the 5% discount.
So, asa man ta makapangutana na, ma'am?
So, finance and accounting office, ma'am. accounting@cit.edu.
Then ang kuan ana, ma'am, ang ESC, di ba, ma-refund ba na siya? Kay kung mag full pay me, so dili man na, di pa man pwede. Okay, kinahanglan man full gid ang tanan, dili pa man i-deduct ang ESC.
Now,
So,
you can
di
ask
ba,
for a refund, ma'am. However, if you don't want, that will be carried over to the next grade level account of your child. But if you really want, then you have to write a letter addressed to our university
so
president.
through email ra gihapon siya, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, through email. Because right now we are working from home.
Yeah, kanang og magbayad ka, ma'am, say ihatag ana, ma'am, kanang ang name sa bata og ID number, or di ba sa wala pa mo
There's a
ko
link.
try kay over the counter mag ko nagpay, wala pa ko try sa kanang mga kuan. Muna akong question ba kung unsaon na siya.
Sir Pinor, is there a link for the payment?
Ma'am.
So just visit our Facebook page, ma'am, for the link.
Name sa parent, ma'am, kaya pasindan.
Kay nagkuan man gud ko ato, nangutana ko nya. Wala pa man ko wala ko gi-replyan, gihatagan ra ko og mao daw to ang ma-discount, then nangutana ko kung saon pagpaagi para mo pay.
Okay,
Kung
ma'am.
say basihan ID number ba or kuan?
ID number gamiton, ma'am.
ID number lang siya, sir?
Name sa bata, ID number niya. Sa CIT University, paid to CIT University. Yeah, mas madali, ma'am.
So nga sa school,
dayon og employer, ma'am. Mas dali si ma'am. Dali ra sa ka. Diretso dayon sa
employer.
employer, ma'am. Okay.
BPI.
BPI employer, ma'am. Dali sa ma'am.
Sige. Mas duol man sa mig employer dire. Dayon.
Okay,
ang link, ma'am, inig di ba klase naman inig ka Monday, ma'am, wala mo kay ba akin sa ni advisor sa grade 8 happiness.
You don't have to worry, ma'am. The advisor will communicate with your child.
So isend ra nila as of
Yes,
now wala pa
ma'am. Yes,
wala pa
ma'am.
nag-send.
So soon your child will receive the communication from the advisor.
So either BPI ra or kuan employer.
Yes, ma'am.
Kanang ma'am, mas mayo na, ma'am, mas dali siya.
Then ang discount ana, ma'am, until kanus di ba naman mo kuan na bracket kung kanus ra kutob.
So we will be waiting for the blue memo, ma'am, as to when will be the deadline. But if you're going to pay it next week, I think you can still avail of the 5% discount.
Okay. Next,
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am. Next, ma'am Jeran Perez.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Mo-ask lang ko, ma'am, regarding galianang sa parents nga dapat na siya participation. Because we are all working here sa balay, then Saturday lang jud mi naa. Only child ra na ako may mahabilin. Is it possible that it can be scheduled on Saturdays?
Is that for TLE, ma'am?
Ma'am.
What grade is your child,
7.
ma'am? Oh, grade 7. So, sir, we'll just communicate with the TLE teacher, sir.
Ang grade 7, ma'am, wala man ay cooking, ma'am.
So cooking will be in grade 9,
9
ma'am.
and 10, ma'am. Grade 9 and 10.
Okay, so wala rin problema.
Wala na,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Sige. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you also, ma'am.
Okay, Ma'am Ness, we also have some questions here on our chat box, ma'am.
Aw. Mong iro.
I will just read this one, Ma'am Ness.
Yes, Ma'am Jo.
Pila ang ma-discount kung 3 ka-students daw, Ma'am Ness?
So, I think you have to coordinate with the accounting office because based on what I learned before, if there are already 3, 15% for each child. 3 or more, 15% discount. But you have
Another
to clarify
one.
it.
Okay, ma'am. Is it okay if we will pay through GCash?
Yes, ma'am. If it's convenient on your part, so you can pay GCash.
And how about transferee who just processed the enrollment yesterday, as well as the admission payment? When do we know his section? He's an incoming grade 8.
What's the name? May we know the name?
Joshmar Nino Canoy.
So please check, sir. Canoy, Joshmar, coming grade 8. We'll check, ma'am.
Another one, ma'am. Open ra ba ang accounting sa CIT-U every day?
Online.
Close na, ma'am.
So we are actually working from home, but there's a plan that there will be skeleton force, but we do not know the schedule yet. So we'll just inform you. We'll just post it.
And the last one, ma'am. When ang deadline sa cash payment?
So we are still waiting for the blue memo. So once we have the blue memo, we'll just inform you about it. Deadline for the cash payment.
Okay, so I think that's it, ma'am. So
Hi, Ma'am Romero.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Ako i-clarify, ma'am, ha? Katong sa subsidy last year sa ako a child, ma'am, if ever na ato'y sobra, mo carried over ato sa
Yes, ma'am.
this year,
Yes, ma'am. It will be carried
okay.
over. So just
so no
check
need na
also,
nako-
ma'am, when you receive the admission slip, you also check.
Wala, there's nothing deduction na kita na ko, ma'am.
Pero when you receive the admission slip in preparation for the mastery test, you can see it. Just give us feedback. Ma'am ha, just give us feedback.
Okay. Wala naman ko ni file og refund, ma'am, kay namagyapoy pa rin nun.
So don't worry, ma'am. It will be carried over.
Sige, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Ma'am, additional question. My daughter incoming grade 7, is it okay if medical certificate is lacking? Very crucial to go to clinics and doctors.
Yes, we do understand, ma'am, the situations that we are all in. So you can just submit it once there's already an opportunity for you to have it. It's okay with us.
So I hope we answered all your questions. So with that, we are now ready to...
Hello, Ma'am Jo.
Yes, sir.
From Miss Pamawara Science teacher, Mrs. May Batusen. She would just like to remind that for those who will be using the smartphone in submitting the assignment, it should be in a Word file. No? So the smartphone should have an Word apps.
Okay, sir. So with that, we're now ready to embrace the new normal in education.
Yes, ma'am.
Question. Ma'am,
you still have
a question,
ma'am?
Okay, yes, Ma'am Daisy, nakuha.
Ma'am, kay both kaming duha, ma'am, puro mi nag-work. Dinang bata ra mabilin sa balay.
What grade? 9? What grade level, ma'am?
9, ma'am. Grade 9.
nobody can monitor your child.
Sorry, ma'am. Puro me working.
So I think the teachers will just give guidelines on how it can be done, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll help your child.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So we consider your situation.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
So, no more questions? So if there are no more questions, to give the closing remarks, once again, I would like to call on the SAU in charge for girls, Mrs. Remelia Pinsurga.
Thank you, Ma'am Joanne. Good afternoon again. Good afternoon, everyone. We are very happy and grateful that you chose Cebu Institute of Technology University for your children's junior high school education. The school administration, led by Engineer Bernard Nicholas E. Villamor, and the junior high school faculty members try their best to provide your children with quality education in this time of the COVID-19 pandemic through online distance learning. As co-facilitators, you need to provide your children with the necessary tools and follow up their attendance and school activities. We have to help them by motivating them to embrace the new way of teaching, learning, deliveries. I hope that you have learned a lot from this orientation, and you will help us prepare your children for the school year 2020-2021, which will start on Monday, August 17, 2020. On behalf of the administrators, faculty, and staff of the Junior High School Department, headed by Dr. Reniza R. Romero, I would like to thank the CIT University Administration, led by Engineer Bernard Nicholas E. Villamor, for allowing us to hold this activity, to Mrs. Rafi Diano, our marketing office head, to our invited resource speaker, Dr. Larmi S. Feliscuso, for sharing with us her expertise on university's learning management system, to the parents for streaming with us despite the hectic schedule, and most of all, to our Lord Almighty for making this parents' orientation a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Pinsurga. Dear parents, thank you so much for your presence this afternoon. Let's continue to look at the brighter side of life. Despite the pandemic,
welcome,
be
Ma'am.
reminded that this shall all come to pass.
We'll
Have a
group,
blessed weekend, everyone.
we'll have a group
Thank
picture sa
you.
Jo. Jo, we'll have a group picture before we
Yes,
leave.
sir. Okay.
Continue to pray.
Yes, ma'am. We agree with you.
We'll have a group picture.
We'll have a group picture first.
Okay. Wait for a while.
What's a minute?
Okay, wait lang ha.